I'll tell you how the core banner will go. Om chips as far as the eye can see. Yeah, probably. So did we discuss... I think we're going to just go with the featured banner. I can't remember if people were saying. I think we'll do that. All right, here we go. We're going to do some polls. I'm going to start with the single just to see how the luck's looking. Oh my... Oh, excuse my language. Are you shitting me? Come on, please. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Bro, what is this? It occasionally works, but apparently not for me. Are you... What the... What? What? No! Bro! Oh my god. I will super chat $100 if you get another Om chip. Oh man, dude. What freaking luck was that? What's up, guys? My name is Spartan, and in today's video, I basically wanted to take a moment to just kind of discuss the featured banner with you guys. I need to just get something off of my chest here. So we currently have some banners going on right now, right? We have currently the core module featured banner. And yeah, the whole premise of a featured banner, right, is that you effectively will get a higher chance of pulling whatever is considered featured than you would of pulling other things. So basically, in the past, what they've done is had, you know, one banner. So it could be, let's just say, Primordial Collapse. Primordial Collapse goes up to 50%. Everything else gets a reduced rate. And anything that's already 5-starred gets an even lower rate. I'm just going to kind of run a scenario by you guys, and you guys can tell me if I'm crazy for feeling this way. Let's just pretend that you already have a few 5-star modules. You have a 5-star Ohm chip. Let's say that you have a 5-star Harmony Conductor. And then you want to pull the featured banner module so that you can pull more Dimension Cores and more Multiverse Nexuses. So naturally, you want to pull from the featured banner because there's a higher chance of pulling the core modules. But there may be something very specific that you're noticing, and if you're not, don't worry, I'll give you a couple seconds before I just tell you. So if you notice, I already had some 5-stars prior to pulling from this banner, and the 5-stars are not properly reduced from the banner itself. So I have, like I mentioned, a 5-star Harmony Conductor and a 5-star Ohm chip. Yet they are both at the same 8.33% as the rest of these. That should be fine, right? I still get a high chance of getting MVNs and DIM cores. So I did my module pulls, right? I was just super excited. I was like, cool, I'm finally going to get like a 4-star Dimension Core so I can start building a second one. And then basically I started pulling modules, and what I noticed very quickly was that I was basically only pulling 2 core modules. First of all, I already was not pulling hardly any cores in general. I pulled quite a few generators, I pulled definitely quite a few cannons, a couple of these, but I was hardly pulling any cores. And of the cores that I did pull, I ended up getting, you guessed it, Ohm chips and Harmony Conductors, which was definitely not ideal. It got to the point where I pulled 2 Ohm chips and 1 Harmony Conductor, and then I was like, okay, this is stupid. So I shattered them to obviously get more module shards so that I could upgrade these. But then I kept pulling and pulling and pulling. And what I found was I kept getting nothing else but Ohm chips and Harmony Conductors. And this started to really, really frustrate me to the point where I decided, screw it. I'm just going to build a second Ohm chip and a second Harmony Conductor. So in total, currently throughout the time of this banner, I have pulled 8 Ohm chips. And I have also pulled 7 Harmony Conductors. Do you guys want to know how many Dimension Cores I pulled? Or how many Multiverse Nexuses? I did pull a Multiverse Nexus. I'll give it a little bit of credit. I did get one of those, which got me to 3-star. For the developers at Tech Tree Games, I simply have one question for you regarding the featured banners. What are you doing? Get rid of the 5-stars. If we already have 5-stars, why are they still the same percentage? Why? It doesn't make any sense. The only logical explanation is the people that already have a 5-star Dimension Core complained, and they were like, well, we screwed up by going ahead and 5-starring one instead of building a second one first, so we want to have our percentage higher. That's the only logical reason to go ahead and have all of these in here. It makes sense if you think about it. But the player base that has already a 5-star Dimension Core is very, very small compared to everyone else in the game, especially like mid to late game players like myself who have 1 or 2 of these 5-star, but don't have some of these others. How come in all of these other categories, the current 5 stars that you have a reduced rate, but when you go to the actual featured one, it does not have a reduced rate? Guys, that is not good. That is not good. I almost feel like I would have better luck pulling from this, where I have a still higher percentage chance of pulling all of these modules that I don't have 5-starred, versus pulling from the featured banner, where I have a slightly reduced rate of pulling other things, even though I seemingly continue to pull other things. But at least I'm not going to get a bunch of duplicates that I inevitably have to shatter until I get so frustrated that I start building a second one. Guys, what is happening? That should not be the way that these feature banners go. Like, I get it. I'm just a dude playing this game. I'm not a developer. I don't know anything about any of that stuff. But I do think that we need to do something better with the modules. We need to do something better, because that is just, it's ridiculous. And I'm not the only person that this has happened to, by the way. This has happened to several people that I've spoken to within our Discord server. So guys, we got to figure something out with these feature banners. Here's a really, really good solution. Just like in all of the other categories, how you reduce the rate of 5 stars, reduce the rate for these 5 stars too. Don't have them all be the same. That is not good. And even if they are all the same, at least don't keep giving me freaking ohm chips. I'm sorry guys, I really just needed to kind of vent about that. It's super, super frustrating. But that does beg the question, should you pull from the featured banner? And let's just kind of talk about it. So I think the featured banner is going to be designed for 2 categories of players. Player A, people that already have a 5-star Dimension Core and want a second one. Player B is anybody who currently does not have a 5-star ancestral module. Anybody that does not have a 5-star core module especially, those players would also benefit. Anybody else, people that have 1 or more 5 stars in the core category, you're not going to get much benefit. So the chances that of these 6 core modules I actually get something I want, it's about a 50-50. And that is heavily reduced considering all of these other modules. I mean, think about it. The percentage basically goes up not even by 50%. So you get, 8.33 chance of pulling a Multiverse Nexus versus a 4.87 chance of pulling a Restorative Bonus. That is not a huge difference. Whereas the previous feature banners, it was, if there was a banner for Primordial Collapse, you would get a 50% chance of pulling that particular module. Guys, these banner modules, these featured banners need to be a lot higher. And the modules that you already have 5-star, they need to be lower. That's just what it is. They need to be a lot lower. Even if it's slightly higher to appease the 5-star Dimension Core people, like even if that's the case, they still should not be the same as all of these others. I should not be pulling 8 ohm chips during a featured banner where I should have an equal chance of pulling all of these. This is the probably arguably most frustrating section of this entire game. I have a lot of people in this community that I hear a lot of people's opinions, I hear a lot of people's frustrations, and I hate to say it, if the devs are watching, 99% of the complaints I get about your game is from the modules. The seed system, how it's truly not RNG, it's predetermined almost. Like, there's a lot involved with this that frustrates people. And I would encourage you guys to maybe try to just look into it. Obviously, you don't want to make it so easy where, all right, guys, this month's feature banner is going to be for frickin' Dimension Core. You guys can get all the Dimension Cores that you want, because, that wouldn't be fun. But you also don't want it to be a 2.5% chance to pull an epic, and you have to spend 3,000 gems to get a pity pull. This should go up to about 5%. And for featured banners, we should see a way higher percentage chance of pulling whatever is featured, because, like I said, I've talked to so many different people, and most of the people I've spoken to have not even been pulling cores. They've been pulling other modules. So what is this? Why? Why is it this way? So I would encourage you guys to look into that. Obviously, like I said, I have no dog in this fight. I'm just a dude playing this game. But I am going to document my frustrations and also try to express the frustrations of the people in my community, because it's been frustrating for a lot of us. Like, it's very disheartening, especially those of us that already have a couple 5-stars that are not getting what we actually were hoping to get, and instead we're just getting what we already had in the first place. modules in general have been definitely a negative outlook overall. It's not hopeless. Truly, it's not hopeless. We can come back from this. We just need to do some serious work. And yeah, with that, that is all I had to really discuss in this video. But I just had to get a little bit of that off my chest. I'm sorry. Sorry if it's disheartening. Sorry if it's kind of negative, not the normal vibe. But you guys saw during the live stream, I got graciously gifted a few gem packs by a viewer during a live stream, and I did some live module pulls from the feature banner. And during that stream, I pulled 3 ohm chips. 3 more ohm chips. It's super frustrating, guys. But anyway, with that, that's going to wrap up today's video. But I hope that maybe you enjoyed this. Hopefully it wasn't too negative. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. But with that, that's going to conclude today's video. But thank you guys so much for watching. And like always, I will see you guys later.